Hi coaches. So far in the technical tackle series we've looked at the pre-tackle and the tackle. Now we're going to look at the post-tackle. The elements of this is about getting back to your feet. We've got 2 drills today which is going to highlight how to do that. Gentlemen, what we're looking at now at the post-tackle, and for me, if we're on the ground, we're out of the game. So the key when we on the ground make a tackle is to get back on our feet quickly. We've got a couple of ways to help get that. We're going to do a couple of drills with Swiss balls and then popping our hips. It's really important that our attitude's right. The tackle is complete when we're back on our feet. And that's a really good phrase for us to use in our mindsets. Wherever we make a tackle, whether it's a low body shot or a high body shot, even if it's a dominant tackle or a passive tackle, we can always work to get back and land on our stomach. So if I make a tackle here, a big dominant tackle, it's pretty obvious that I can land on my stomach. But even if I make a passive tackle here and fall back like this, I can always, if my attitude's right, swing round and land on my stomach and then pop up. And it's just training a mindset shift. We've got the Swiss balls here to help rep that out. But what I'm going to ask is Hadley is just to pretend you've made this tackle here, so you've gripped around someone's legs, and now you're rolling. And I just want you to roll over and land on your feet again, if you know what I mean. So squeeze it tight like you've actually gripped it, and roll. Okay, some of the cues we want to look at. When Hadley rolls in the tackle and just hold it halfway, just go halfway, stop there, stop there. Okay, so it would be very easy for Hadley to stop and just be comfortable with the tackle. But if he can really whip this leg over and finish there in the tackle, he can just pop his hips and get up and he's away. So if we could just do that, fellas, just have a couple of reps, go one way and the other. And really try to work that core and get that swing over of that leg. And you guys can give him feedback as well. Look how much his feet is coming over. Really pull that leg over. Pull this one over when you roll this way. Ready? Whip it over. Good. Back on your feet. Good. Good stuff. Good speed. Nice. You want to really get that fast whip. If we're going at the same pace in the tackle, we're not going to get the whip we want. So once you've made that tackle here and he's going down, really tighten up the speed of your spin, and so that foot really flicks around and back up to its feet. Better. As opposed to a Swiss ball now, we'll just use a tackle bag so it looks more like a body. So Hadley, if you can just jump on the same thing here and you've made that tackle, you're making that tackle, so if you just squeeze up tight. Now I'm just going to roll it whichever way I want, and you've just got to react and end up on your stomach. Ready? Okay, so really arc that back foot up. Spinning in that tackle and back to his stomach. And so he's up in a great position to then be able to get the ball. Does everyone kind of get the concept of why we're doing it? Because it's so easy, especially on those passive tackles, to just give up on it and just go, oh, I can't do anything here. So coaches, it's kind of got an element of wrestling and judo type mixed in together, and some players will struggle with the coordination of that, but once they get the rhythm and the flow, it'll make their tackle so much better because they'll always finish on top. Okay, so gentlemen, now once we get onto our stomach, we put ourselves in a great position to actually get up quick. The way to get up quick is actually to pop our hips as opposed to a press up. I'll give you the example of why that's quicker. If I'm on my stomach here, I've made this tackle and I've landed here. If I get up in a traditional position by press up, stand up, then to get that ball, I have to come back down again. And it's taken that half a second, which is probably the only window you've got. If instead, I can simply pop my hips up, I can now just race at that height and attack that ball. And I save myself half a second, which is what's going to be the difference between stealing the ball and not. It's a movement which doesn't always come natural, so we need to rep it. So what we need to do is actually just start down on the ground and just pop your hips. Just get used to popping your hips just a little bit, popping until so you get in that position there. Even if you keep your head on the ground, it just hips first. So pop it up. If we have a look at the flow here, Hadley's got pretty good flow, it's just bouncing up. Hips are coming up first, so he's staying in that nice slow position. If there was a ball up here, he could simply take a step or two and it'd be right there on it. Coaches, just to encourage players to actually get up really fast with their hips. Sometimes you have to get in partners and help them out. So if you just jump down there and just do a hip pop for us. Okay, so now I'm going to stand over here, and I'm just going to grab on tight. When I say up, I just want you to pop your hips up, okay? Yep, and I'm going to pull them up to over-exaggerate the speed we want. Up, up, keep your head low. Up, up. Okay, let's have a look just without it now and see if that stayed on you. Hips first. Okay, really difficult for big men to get the hips up high, but we can help ourselves by coming down and actually bouncing off that ground with our hips. Hips, bounce, bounce, bounce. The more we practice and rep it out every training, you get pretty high pretty quick. So when you're popping your hips, you get up that much quicker, and that's fundamental for rugby.
As a player, I guess it's so relative to the game. Obviously, you're down and up fast in the game, and to get on the ball and having the pad there is a progressional part of doing the drill.
Coaches, if you can incorporate it to your everyday trainings, if you're doing burpees or down and ups, or even playing a game of touch where you hit the deck, encourage the boys to pop their hips when they're getting up. It makes it so much faster.